Coming up on this edition of Retirement Results, how to beat inflation. We'll share 5 key strategies to help you battle rising costs for a successful retirement. Plus, we'll test your financial knowledge with a game we call Right or Wrong. Retirement Results starts right now. Welcome to Retirement Results with Ford Stokes. I'm Matt McClure, and I am joined here by Ford. He is our Chief Financial Advisor, also the CEO of Active Wealth Management. Ford, how are you doing today?
Doing great. It's great to be with you again. Yeah. Also, it's really cool to see the lapel pin you've got there. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, this means a lot to me. This was actually my dad's from his Air Force uniform. My dad was a Vietnam veteran, served in the Air Force, and passed away a couple of years ago, and actually got this suit for his funeral, believe it or not. I put this pin on there for the funeral, and I have not taken it off since.
That's cool. So, well, it's congratulations on still being able to fit into it too. That's good stuff. But yeah, thanks to your dad for his service.
Yes, he was an amazing man. So great to, and thank you for allowing me to pay tribute to him as well.
It's my pleasure. That's awesome.
So much. Well, a lot of great stuff to talk about today. You know, we set it up at the beginning talking about inflation here, and to sort of set the stage, I guess I should say, for this conversation. You know, the Social Security Administration for this year, they announced the cost of living adjustment is 3.2%. So that's the amount of increase for the COLA, the cost of living adjustment, for Social Security recipients between last year and this year. But there's an economist named John Williams, not the composer John Williams, but the economist John Williams, who says that actually the real rate of inflation over that previous 12 months was 14.2%. And that, if you take that at its face value, that leaves Social Security recipients actually with 11% less buying power than they had the previous year.
Yeah, it's kind of frightening what's going on with inflation. And a lot of retirees and pre-retirees, they've got to be very careful about just burying that money and putting it under their mattress or burying it in the backyard and get the metal detector, right? You've got to do a much better job at staying invested in the markets, but also not risking too much too. So you got to be very careful about what you're doing with those hard-earned and hard-saved retirement assets.
Here's our financial wisdom quote of the week. Absolutely. And actually our quote of the week for this week is all about inflation as well. This comes from the 40th President of the United States, Ronald Reagan, who said this: "Inflation is the cruelest tax because it falls heaviest on people who are least able to protect themselves." What do you say?
It's absolutely true. One of the things that Milton Friedman said, that inflation only comes from one place in the United States of America, and that is Washington, D.C. And a lot of times it's a tax that you don't vote on. And inflation, when the government prints money and the dollar is devalued, inflation rears its ugly head, as we've seen during the COVID-19 pandemic, during 2020. Also what we've seen, what's gone on since then. And unfortunately, we have to keep pace with inflation and stay invested in the markets. And also there's other ways to do that by replacing your bonds with, say, a fixed index annuity where the index helps generate more growth on your hard-earned nest egg. That's the retirement income portion of your portfolio. So there's a lot of things you can do to stay invested, but still stay a little bit more secure with that retirement nest egg.
Yeah, and I also wanted to tell folks, if you go to retirementresults.com, you can actually get a report on how to beat inflation as well. We've got a bunch of free reports up on the website, and that is one of them. So just go to retirementresults.com and you can find that there as well. And all right, so basically what we're going to do throughout the show here today is share 5 key strategies to help our viewers beat inflation. We've sort of laid out the problem there that, okay, inflation is a big problem. We're all feeling it. And so the question then is, how do you beat it? Well, we got 5 potential answers here for you today, some great strategies. And the very first one we're going to share in this first part of the show, Ford, is to diversify your investments. So what does that mean? to folks who are watching?
Well, we like to do diversification at an even higher level than what most financial advisors do. We like to diversify within asset classes as well. So first, you want to invest in the markets. You want to be invested in the markets, diversify your assets. We like to use exchange traded funds to implement our portfolios because it's a lower cost than the typical mutual fund. In our opinion, ETFs are actually far superior in lower fees, and also they can be traded within the trading day versus with a mutual fund, you have to get the net asset value at the end of the day's trading, and then you can buy or sell those mutual funds. And so we like to implement our portfolios with exchange traded funds first. Next, we also like to allocate and diversify within overall asset classes, whether it's assets under management within a managed portfolio, also with a bond replacement with fixed index annuities, with insurance products. An annuity is an insurance product. It's insurance against living too long, whereas life insurance is insurance against living too short. And then we also look for other assets, whether it's brokered CDs or bank CDs or other things that can give you some safety and some short-term money as well. But we like to diversify within all of the asset classes out there, not just stay within the financial markets.
Yeah. And of course, it's not a one size fits all thing. That's what we want to really emphasize here. It's based on your individual situation, and not just something like, I kind of always like to say, it's not like you're going to go down the street to the big box store and they've got 5 or 6 different retirement plans up on the shelf and you just pick the one that you like out of those couple of, no, this is all tailored specifically for you. That's the way at Active Wealth Management we like to operate.
Yeah, and it's also great to have you co-hosting this show with us, who's a licensed financial advisor. That's always great. It's a lot different than the typical financial show, where this show is 100% implemented by licensed financial advisors or Series 65 licensed, life and health licensed. And it's just great that you're able to serve prospects and clients within our community too. But I agree, we've got to do everything we can to really diversify the portfolio and make sure that you can grow along with inflation to kind of combat that. Listen, you don't just listen to me. Social Security Administration gave us an 8.7 and a 3.2% cost of living adjustment the last 2 years. That means the price of chicken and eggs and steak and milk and bread are a lot higher than they used to. And last time I checked, retirees still got to eat. And so we've got to do a good job at keeping pace with inflation for our clients. And I would encourage people just to call the phone number that's on the screen, and also maybe click that QR code or visit retirementresults.com so we can get them going with a customized financial plan that we can run for them.
Absolutely. And as we've been saying, it is customized specifically for you. So take advantage of that. As Ford said, scan the QR code or call the number on your screen, or just go to retirementresults.com. All right, stick around. We've got much more retirement results to come. Our number 2 strategy to beat inflation is just ahead. Stick around.
Scan the QR code on the screen with your smartphone to visit retirementresults.com/plan. That's retirementresults.com/plan. Our team is standing by and ready to start building your successful retirement plan today.
Welcome back to Retirement Results, where our goal is to help you protect and grow your wealth for a successful retirement. I'm Matt McClure here alongside Ford Stokes. And Ford, we're sharing your strategies to really help people battle inflation. And that's a battle that they can win if they follow these 5 strategies here. And number 2 is to consider delaying Social Security benefits. What's the advantage there?
Yeah, everybody needs to kind of take into account their own situation, obviously. The longer you wait, the more you're going to make with Social Security, but also you want to be careful not to put too much downward pressure on your portfolios by having to over withdraw, because if you're taking Social Security, that can backfill the $2,000 to $3,000 to $4,000 a month that you might be getting in Social Security that you don't have to take out of your portfolio. So, what is nice about delaying Social Security is, especially if you continue to work, you're going to get more. The more you wait, the more you're going to make. And so that can help combat some of that inflation situation, but you also need to make sure you're starting with that positive income surplus, not a negative retirement income gap when you start your retirement years.
Yeah, and as we've talked about, I think on previous episodes here, you want to make sure that you're in a situation that no matter what happens with Social Security, because there's a lot of doubt as to the solvency of Social Security. The trust fund is, as we have said, is projected to run out in less than 10 years, and actually about 9 years now. And so, yeah, I mean, it's a dangerous situation that we find ourselves in. So you want to make sure that no matter what, you have a plan, no matter what happens with Social Security, is a sound plan. And then Social Security is just the cherry on top.
Yeah, you can build that personal income and that personal pension. We can help you do that. All I've got to do, all our viewers have to do is just go ahead and reach out to us with the phone number on the screen, or click the QR code, or visit retirementresults.com. We're happy to help them do that. No problem. No questions asked. It's about a $1,500 value of all of the things that we give people, whether it's giving them a Social Security maximization report or giving them a retirement income gap analysis, number 2. Number 3 would be a financial plan to their 95th birthday with their current plan that has nothing to do with us, but has everything to do with what their current plan is. Number 4 would be a retirement plan all the way to their 95th birthday with our recommended portfolios. And number 5 would be the same plan, but also that includes a strategic Roth ladder conversion so they can delete the IRS from being their partner in retirement.
And that is music to everybody's ears,
Right.
I am very sure. Well, strategy number 3 now for taking on inflation in retirement is, and this is maybe not the most fun for everybody, I don't think, but I think a lot of people might actually have their ears perk up a little bit, and it's consider part-time work. You know, you don't want to be working because you have to necessarily in retirement, obviously. You want to be working because you want to. So if you're, one of those people who is like, I can't just sit around home and be bored, consider some part-time work, and that'll occupy your time and potentially help your wallet as well.
Yeah, a lot of people have a lot of expertise. They may consult and still make kind of the money they used to make. Also, I would encourage everybody to be very careful about when you retire, because trying to re-enter the workplace 2 or 3 years later can be difficult and daunting, and you may not be making the same money you made before. But a lot of folks, Matt, like to relaunch. They don't like to retire. The definition of retire is actually to withdraw. And so a lot of people don't necessarily want to withdraw. They want to relaunch. They want to stay relevant. They don't want to be that has-been. But that doesn't mean that you are a has-been if you retire. You can go have fun in retirement and really enjoy retirement. The folks that we work with, the top 2 things that I hear: really enjoy retirement, and my grandkids are maybe younger.
Yeah.
I hear that all the time. We also do tend to hear that, yes, in fact, they do love their grandkids more than they love their kids now. That does happen.
Right.
But I would just say a lot of people are looking to relaunch, not just retire.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's definitely something that, especially as people are living longer, people are realizing they have a lot longer potentially in retirement anyway, and they, don't necessarily want to, sit on the front porch and watch the neighbor kids go down the street on the bike or whatever. They want to, have some more different kind of fulfillment in their life,
and also more socialization. But one really big important point I want to make, and Dave Ramsey talks about this: your personal income is your greatest wealth generator. It can do more than we can in managing assets. If you can make 100% of your retirement income, that's 100% growth on your money when you had none before. All you have to do is give your elbow grease. That you've got to work hard and roll the sleeves up and go to work if you want to do that. It's a great strategy to outpace inflation rather than just suffering on that fixed income and really worrying about it and wringing your hands. And also, you might meet some new people you really enjoy and really enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah, that socialization aspect of retirement, and really for everybody, retirees, pre-retirees, all of us, is super, super important. So we're going to do some more socializing here in just a minute because you've shared 3 of our 5 strategies to battle inflation in retirement so far. We got 2 more to go is what that means, and we'll come back and share those in just a moment. In the meantime, scan that QR code or call the number on your screen for a free, no obligation consultation. As Ford said a little bit earlier, it's about a $1,500 value provided at no charge to you from the Active Wealth Management team. Retirement Results. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Retirement Results. I'm Matt McClure here alongside Ford Stokes. So we are sharing 5 strategies that you can use to battle inflation in retirement. We've shared 1 through 3 so far. So Ford, let's go in with number 4 now, and that is recalibrate your budget.
Yeah, people really need to get an understanding of what their monthly budget looks like during retirement. What we like to do is kind of focus on the 2 buckets of expenses. So one would be non-discretionary. That is, your rent, your power bill, your cable bill, all the things that recur every single month that really you don't have any discretion over. One other point that I want to make with non-discretionary expenses is if you can pay your house off, we're a little different than other advisors, Matt. A lot of times we recommend that they pay their house off, even though it may mean less assets for us to manage. We want to make sure that we're some of the happiest clients that we have that come in to meet with us, they've got their house paid off. And also that reduces that non-discretionary expense, because a mortgage could eat up one of the Social Security income payments that come into the household. And so we really want to do everything we can to try to get that house paid off if we can. The next is the discretionary expenses. The discretionary expenses are the entertainment, the gifts for the kids and the grandkids. When they're doing the whole grandparent competition thing, and they're trying to beat the other grandparents out and give more gifts, you need to be careful about those discretionary expenses, right? Traveling more, eating out more. But also I want to warn you, when you're living on a fixed income, it's not just the fix of, we'll just eat out less.
Right.
You really need to have an understanding of your overall budget before you retire, because you may want to work another 6 to 12 months to kind of help fortify those hard-earned and hard-saved retirement assets.
Yeah, and we often say you haven't made a decision until you've taken action. It's a good example of it right there. You can say, okay, I'm going to eat out less in retirement, but then that's not a plan. That's just an idea that's in your head, and you may or may not actually stick to it and all that. If you have that detailed plan in place, then that is going to mean so much more. Then you've actually made the decision to make a change in your life.
Also, if people want to get a retirement expense budget tool that we have, it's just an Excel spreadsheet, but I think people really would get a lot out of it. They can just click the QR code, or they can visit retirementresults.com or call us, and we'll give them that free budgeting tool absolutely at no cost to them. All they got to do is give us their name, email, and phone, and we'll get that out to them.
That's wonderful, and more added value to the things that we provide to our viewers already. So very, very good. All right. So strategy number 5 here is, and this is all to beat inflation in retirement, folks, if you're just joining us here on the show, is to consult with a financial advisor. I think a lot of people might think a couple of things. I can do it myself. I can, it's not that complicated. How complicated could it be? I can do it myself. B, I'm intimidated to work with a financial advisor. Or C, the financial advisor is going to cost too much, and it just won't be worth it in the end. They're going to cost me more than I can make anyway. So what would you say to people who might be doubtful or concerned for one or any of those reasons?
Well, first of all, I would encourage people to work with a fiduciary advisor like you and me, and also Sam and the other advisors that are with Active Wealth. We want to make sure that you're working with somebody that's going to put your needs ahead of their own. So we put our clients' needs ahead of our own with every single interaction, even before we work with them. You and I, we make money when we manage money only. We give that free financial plan and portfolio analysis at no cost to our viewers. It's a $1,500 value, like we talked about before at the beginning of this show, at no cost, because we want to make sure they can make an informed financial decision before they choose to work with us, right? So we're going to do everything we can there. As far as too expensive, a lot of financial advisors, they can charge between 1.5%, 2+%. We don't do that. Our fees are much lower. We also have strategies to reduce those fees even further by another 40% by replacing the income portion of their portfolio with bonds, replace the bonds with a fixed index annuity where there are no advisory and portfolio fees, and also help them keep pace with inflation with that index linking as well. So we can help there too. I would just tell you, do everything you can to at least sit down with us. We'd love the opportunity to at least show you what's possible. You likely wouldn't do surgery on yourself if you needed an appendectomy. I would say chances are you shouldn't be doing your own finances, especially throughout retirement. And as you age, you may not want to be looking at the stock ticker every day. We work with a lot of husbands who used to be do-it-yourselfers on the financial side, and they need us to take care of their spouse as they age. And so I would encourage you to kind of get started as soon as possible. Also, one thing that Warren Buffett says, when you're in a hole, stop digging. I would encourage people to stop digging and just to go ahead and reach out to us by dialing the phone number that's on the screen or visiting retirementresults.com. We're ready to get started and help them.
Well, Ford, thank you for that. And we, of course, encourage, as you just said, our listeners to call the number on the screen or scan the QR code or just go to retirementresults.com. You can do any of those things. Reach out for a free consultation. It's a $1,500 value provided at no charge to you. We'll stick around. There's more retirement results on the way. We're going to be joined by Sam Davis after this break. He is going to lead us in another round of Right or Wrong. It's everybody's favorite financial game show after all. So we're going to play it when we come back. Stick around. Hello again, and welcome back to Retirement Results. I'm Matt McClure here alongside Ford Stokes, our Chief Financial Advisor, and we are now joined by Sam Davis, who is a licensed financial advisor with Active Wealth Management as well. Sam, thank you so much for coming in and leading Right or Wrong. I got to say, it's probably one of my favorite segments that we ever do because we get to kind of test our financial knowledge here a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much for having me back on here again. We hear from a lot of our listeners and viewers that this is one of their favorite segments as well. We like to clear up a lot of the misconceptions that are out there surrounding retirement. And Ford, the first one's for you. The Social Security Administration has given 20.5% in cost of living adjustments since January 2020. However, as calculated by economist John Williams with ssa.gov, 52.6% is the real rate of inflation since January 2020, accounting for a 32.1% loss in buying power over that span. Is that right or wrong?
That is right. And John Williams has over 50 years experience as an economist. He's out of California, so nobody can say whether either side of the aisle. He's kind of right down the middle. And I'll tell you, it's frightening to see how much buying power that our folks that have taken, our retirees, are actually experiencing since 2020. The cost of eggs, the cost of milk, bread, meat, gas, to power their homes, electricity, all that's going up and up and up. And these are those non-discretionary expenses they have to be able to live, fortify themselves, all that kind of stuff. And so we've got to do a great job at helping clients keep pace with inflation by keeping them invested, but also protecting that retirement income portion of their assets in their portfolio by taking bonds and moving them over to fixed index annuities. But I will tell you, that is absolutely right. People have lost at least 32% or more in purchasing power since 2020.
Well, it's not surprising. It seems like everything's more expensive these days. That's why if you're retired or planning on retiring soon, you need to have a plan to protect that buying power. Next one's for you, Ford, as well. Is this right or wrong? There's no product safer than a bank CD when it comes to protecting your money.
Well, unfortunately, that is wrong because with the FDIC regulations, it's between 3 and 10% that they will set aside for a federal or financial reserve on the deposits of any bank. If a bank has over $100 million of deposits, that bank must reserve 10% of their deposits according to the FDIC rules. Whereas with a fixed index annuity or life insurance or any life insurance product, the life insurance companies must reserve 100% of the assets the client gives them into safe products like the 10-year U.S. Treasury so they can protect that wealth and then pay the interest and pay the income from those assets. Fixed index annuities are regulated by the states, not regulated by the federal government, and states have to balance their budgets. So states don't play around. They want to make sure that, look, if you're going to do business in the states that we work in Georgia, Alabama, and Florida primarily, those states say, listen, if our citizens are going to invest in a fixed index annuity with you, you must reserve 100% of the money you give them into the 10-year U.S. Treasury, and then you can use the interest generated from those products to go ahead and generate that interest and therefore help that client keep pace with inflation and give them the income they need in retirement.
Yeah, a lot of the people who get in touch with us are looking for protection from that constant volatility out there. That's really good information. And Matt, the last one is for you and for anybody out there watching who has a pension as part of their workplace retirement plan. If you choose to take a lump sum on your pension, you can receive a 20% bonus and 8% guaranteed simple interest withdrawals, and even get a 335% participation rate in some cases in an underlying index. Is that right or wrong?
Believe it or not, that is actually right. There is going to be an opportunity there for folks to generate a better return when you invest that lump sum from your pension. We have actually access to a fixed indexed annuity product like Ford was just talking about that only 1% of advisors in the country have access to, and we have access to it at Active Wealth Management. And actually, Ford is kind of the expert on this particular product. So I wanted to see if you could kind of explain it in a nutshell.
Yeah, so that product's actually offered by Nationwide. It is they call the Nationwide Peak 10. It does involve a 20% immediate bonus, but also they give you 8% guaranteed interest off the original premium that you invest each year that you wait to take withdrawals or you wait to annuitize the premium from the policy. Annuitize, all it means you're going to turn on the income, right? But that product was developed with one of the companies we work very closely with Nationwide, and therefore only 1% of the advisors, like you said, Matt, have access to that product. And we would love to be able to offer that to our viewers. All you got to do is visit retirementresults.com or give us a call or click the QR code on the screen, and you'll get put directly in our calendar, and we can't wait to help you. And we'll also give you an illustration of that product so you can see what it would mean for your retirement, how you can also get increasing income as the index continues to perform over time. And also they give you 0.1% more as you age. So thanks for mentioning that, Matt. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. A lot of great advantages there. And Sam, thank you for your time and coming in and leading us in right or wrong. Appreciate it.
So happy to be here. We're also passionate about educating people and giving them the information they need. So anytime you need me, I'll be here.
That's absolutely great news. And we'll call on you again next time.
All right.
Very nice. Well, we'll call on all of you, our viewers, next time as well. For Ford Stokes and Sam Davis, I'm Matt McClure. Thanks so much for being a part of Retirement Results. If you want your results in advanced retirement plan from the team at Active Wealth Management, just scan that QR code on your screen. You can also call the number that's there as well, or just go to retirementresults.com. We'll see you next time. Thanks so much.
Visit retirementresults.com/plan. Our team is standing by and ready to start building your successful retirement plan today.
Ford Stokes and Active Wealth Management are not affiliated with or endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency. Information provided is not intended as tax or legal advice and should not be relied on as such. You're encouraged to seek tax or legal advice from an independent professional. Any comments regarding safe and secure products and guaranteed income streams refer only to fixed insurance products. They do not refer in any way to securities or investment advisory products. Fixed insurance and annuity product guarantees are subject to the claims-paying ability of the issuing company and are not offered by Brookstone. Any bonuses mentioned may be subject to additional restrictions and regulations based on the offering annuity company. You may not receive the bonuses if the contract is fully surrendered or if traditional annuitization payments are taken. And if the policy is partially surrendered, it could result in a partial loss of bonuses. Because these are bonus annuities that may include higher surrender charges, longer surrender charge periods, lower caps, higher spreads, or other restrictions that are not included in similar annuities that don't offer a